And here comes the question that you expected. Which is your favorite? The 1994 version that went to win lots of awards, or the 2019 version by Beyonce? The original by Sir Elton John, or the one by Beyonce, Donna Glover, and Billy Eichner? Which is your favorite of Can You Feel the Love Tonight from Lion King? Welcome to the show that talks about movie series, animations, documentaries, and gives you the updates about what's happening in the movie industry. This is Film Focus on Smooth 90.1. Love music, love live, love movies, series, animations, and everything that you can watch on your screen every Friday, 11 till 12 o'clock. This is what we do. And it's always a pleasure to be here with you. I didn't get the chance to catch up with you last week. Now, here we are this week, ready to launch you into the Christmas season. Of course, that means that in the month of December, we're going to be doing a lot of wrapping up and telling you what has been in the year. And you also are going to be giving us your playlist. Additionally, we're going to be talking about Christmas movies because what is Christmas season without Christmas movies? So welcome as you join us. Be a part of today's delightful edition of Film Focus. WhatsApp line is always open, and that will be 0911 999 0981. Again, 0911 999 0981. You can join us on YouTube and join the live stream. That is at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. My name is Oluwaseun Olusegun. I'll tell you some of the things to expect this morning as we get into the show, and then later on come back to start with it. So today we're going to be, as usual, giving you the box office numbers because it's a part of what we do on Film Focus, in addition to reviewing and giving our feedback on films, on animations, and the likes. We talk about what's happening at the cinemas. We also get to the streaming apps and what Nigerians are streaming, the top 10 or sometimes the top 5. Then we also tell you what's happening in the industry, especially with special interest in Nollywood, touching the work against piracy and the drama that has been going on with Taye Arimoro and Peggy Oviri. So somebody sued, counter-sued, and another suspension. And now for suspending me, take this lawsuit. And then we also tell you about what's happening. For instance, Teniola Aladeshi says there is payment disparity in Nollywood. We'll try to understand what it is and then tell you some of the movies to expect this Christmas. And then cross over to Hollywood and, of course, just have a good time generally talking about all of these things and more. So welcome on board on Film Focus. We'll be right back. Hi, people. My name is Gray. So, are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. So when we come back, we do the usual. You tell us what it is, because it's been, is it 2 full weeks now? Yeah, close to 2 weeks, I guess. And then I finally watched Ahead. And and it was a good story. It was a good story. And because it was a good story, especially as we have experienced the drought of good, really thrilling good movies in Nollywood, whatever slip up or whatever little oversights are easily forgivable. So yeah, but it was a good one. If we're rating top movies this year, certainly it easily makes the list. So yeah, that's my submission.
You know, when somebody has been caught dead to rights and they're having to, admit, when somebody has been caught dead to rights and they're having to admit their wrongdoing, but like it's heavy in their mouth. It's like that's how it's sounding coming from you.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. Like Did you like the film or you didn't like the film?
Yeah, I liked it. I do.
But
of course, nothing is perfect. And that's why I said that it was because the story was incredibly good. And I'll tell you how good it was. I like all the different elements. I like how not too stereotypical it was. I mean, for instance, you look at the part where you've got the bodies being trapped to a pastor, things like I like this. I like the Osu part they inserted, so many beautiful elements. The story was good. So yes,
so
I
what
give
was
it.
the issue? So what was the issue with the film?
Go back. Love music and love life. You are listening to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1, and it's now 13 minutes past 11 o'clock on this 5th of December. It's the first Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. You're welcome to join us and be a part of it. WhatsApp line to send your messages to, or whatever you agree with or disagree with as we start to discuss things, is 0911 990981. Alrighty, as you can tell, I'm not running solo today, even though the other half of the Joe is, well, he took his leave before leaving, so I guess it's not a wall. But we are so glad to have again with us the presence of the one and the only Irabor Okosun. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean. How's everything? I was wondering when you're going to introduce me. Kind of like Tinubu taking time to give us ambassadors.
Wow. Okay. Welcome, Irabor. How have you been? What's up? How is everything going? What have you been up to? What have you been watching?
I'm good. I'm splendid. My holiday has started. I was done with my event November 30th. So it's time to eat amala and gbegiri and ewedu and stew and meat and just get fat, but try to, exercise in between and watch as much as you can. So yeah, I've been okay, chilling.
That
We thank
that
God
is
for you.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So did you get to watch anything in between eating the amala and the gbegiri? Hopefully you
Oh yeah,
started.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. My Apostle Michael Oropo sermons, have been keeping me, on the straight and narrow. I've also been watching The Chosen. It's on the Blue app. I am so engrossed. It's one of the greatest TV series ever made. The Chosen is about the life of Jesus. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you go and watch it. I'm on season 5. That's how great it is. I think I used I'd say the entire November to watch it. So I think I was doing like an episode a day or so, or maybe more than that, Seth. Then
Hmm.
what else? Uh did I go to the cinema? I can't really remember. No, I don't think I went to the cinema. I only gave away tickets. I didn't go to the cinema. I
Okay.
watched The Herd again on Netflix. Shem, have you seen The Herd?
Yes, I have seen The Herd.
What are your thoughts? I want to know your
Before we
likes
get
and
into my thoughts, this is still about you and what you have been watching, and then we also get into the box office numbers and the streaming numbers.
the one way I talk, you never reach. I'm don't say what is up with me. So tell me your likes and dislikes about The Herd. I'm very, very curious.
All right, before we get to the review part, let's quickly get to the box office numbers and then we talk about what is streaming on the platforms and then we get to my thought on The Herd. And you also can let us know what you think. If you've got or you've watched the movie, you can also tell us what it is that you think. Hi, Arthur. Good morning to you as well. WhatsApp line is 0911 999 0981. So, in case you're not aware, we do have a new epic drama in the cinemas, and that is Odunlade Adekola's Warlord. It debuts at 38.1 million naira at the cinemas. That was pretty strong. I don't know if it was you, Rabo, or maybe it was Oris that said it looks like there is no getting it wrong with this epic. No matter how many of them that we have in a year, we always or there always will be a huge turnout for it. So 38.1 million for Odunlade Adekola's Warlord, and it was released on the 28th of November. Then there is the one making the rounds globally as well as in Nigeria, because in Nigeria it opened at least the first weekend got 13.2 million, and that is Zootopia. So if you're a fan of animation, yeah, looks like there's a good one for you. And before coming on, I was just laughing and giggling when I saw a particular video because if you look at the global numbers, it has done so well. Globally, Zootopia has gotten $556 million. And part of it is a record-setting $272 million in China. That marks the highest opening ever for a non-local animated title in that market. And so in the video that I saw on Instagram, it was a theater that was filled with not just the humans and the little ones who love Zootopia, but with pets. Yes. So they allowed the people to bring in their pets to come and watch Zootopia, and that was just a sight. So in Nigeria, it's doing well relatively, and globally, it's doing well. I mean, considering the production budget about $175 million and $200 million, it's gotten $556 million so far. Yeah, so that's doing well. All right, now let's quickly go over to the streaming platform. And the reason why I'm quickly doing this is so that I don't forget, because I have been accused that sometimes I say that I want to go through the streaming numbers and I end up forgetting because we get into other juicy things and I forget that. So please forgive me as we get into it. So we're just going to do the two apps, the red app and the blue app, which is us color coding the popular streaming platforms in Nigeria. Again, please remember that these are not necessarily recommendations. They are just bringing you up to speed with what Nigerians have been watching. Some of them were newly added to the platform. So top 10 movies in Nigeria on the red platform. 1 is Troll 2. 2 is The Herd. 3 is Troll. 4 is Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. And 5 is The Tuxedo. 6 is Mas Jathara. 7 is Jingle Bell Heist. 8 is My Secret Santa. 9 is G.I. Joe Retaliation. And 10 is Hannah. That is on the red platform. And on the blue platform, we have She Rides Shotgun as number 1. Number 2 is Project Assault. Number 3 is The Mighty Name, something animation-ish. Number 4 is Shadow Force. And number 5 is The Trade. Oh, interesting. It comes back. Number 6 is Play Dates. Number 7 is Tyler Perry's Finding Joy, while number 8 is The Nowhere Man. And number 9, Fallout. And number 10, After the Hunt. Irabor, are you back with us? Irabor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Welcome back. Were you still on when I was reading out some of the top 10 on the red app?
No. But I know what they are.
Oh, okay. Did you check out the blue app?
Yeah, I've checked both apps. In fact, even the rainbow app.
Wait, is it rainbow we call it? I thought it was the orange. Okay. All right. So Arthur says, I saw The Head, and yes, it's a great watch. I would be seeing whatever you recommend from now on, now henceforth. Yeah, kudos to Irabor. I don't usually do Nollywood, but To Kill a Monkey and The Head has changed how I see Nollywood movies. Oh, that's a good thing. Isaac on WhatsApp says, good morning, Sheo and my brother Irabor. It's another Good Friday, an opportunity to listen, learn, and critically analyze movies and more. Thank you, Isaac. Senfaja says, my view about The Herd, Irab's one, okay, now I don't know how to count this. This is more than a trillion, or maybe a quintillion. It says, how does Irabor cope with movies? The Herd is wonderful and the reality of life. So maybe we should ask Irabor. Senfaja is asking, how does Irabor cope with movies? Is Irabor there? Uh-oh. Sorry, Irabor is struggling with his network. Hopefully he comes back. And yeah, it's supposed to be my part where I tell you about my take on The Herd, because I finally saw The Herd. I was supposed to go to the cinema to see The Herd, but for some reasons, I couldn't just fit it into my schedule. And then it came to me in the comfort of my home on the streaming platform. So I have seen it. So I want Irabor to come back before I give my view about The Herd. And yes, like you're right. Like you rightly said, Fajo and is it Isaac or Arthur? I have seen The Herd. Irabor, are you back? You're missing out on the juice.
What juice exactly?
Did you hear Senfajo's question?
My question.
Senfajo's question.
What's his question?
He said, how does Irabor cope with movies?
How?
Sorry, we didn't hear you. Your volume is coming in and
What
out.
do I cope?
Huh?
How do I cope? I don't understand the question. How do I cope? How?
St. Virgil, you need to give us more details. I thought as much too. Do you mean in terms of how many movies he has to watch in order for him to give his views on them? Oh, in terms of work, movies, and life, are you able to do all of that?
Oh, okay. I mean, I just pace myself. What is important, I check out. Obviously, nobody can watch everything. Nobody can watch everything. You have to sleep, you have to eat. So I just make sure that Nollywood, I watch as many as I can. Thank God we have cinemas. Thank God we have the streaming. Thank God we have YouTube. Thank God we have TV. So then I always surround myself with people like Oris, maybe sometimes Sheun, there are other people, in the ecosystem that, watch stuff. So because you understand how they are, even if you haven't seen something, you can just kind of understand it. So, and it's fun. It's what I like. It's a passion, that I've converted to a money making thing, in a way. So yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, that's it really. I love it. I enjoy it. I like to watch the nuances. So if I'm immersed, there are times when I watch as a like it's quick, it's speedy. I just watch something quickly. But if I'm enjoying something and I'm taking my time, like The Chosen now, all the nuances, in fact, me predicting what they'll say next, expecting what their reaction should be, how the acting should be, how the directing should be, how the editing will, spectacular. So if I tell you a film is great, I'm telling you because that's what I've done, and I'm ready to fight anybody that wants to say otherwise. But I'll also keep it open to listen to what they have to say if it's actually correct. So there's a balance.
All right, then. St. Fadra says, for me, I love movies, and anytime I am under pressure, I watch movies. Keep your messages coming to WhatsApp. We'll take a breather, and when we come back, I will be, giving one or two things about how much I enjoy the herd and one or two things as touching observation. You are listening to Film Focus on Smooth 90.1. So when we come back, I'll take the messages. Then we talk about the herd. And then, this guy is gone again. It's like I'm going to be doing the show alone today.
Okay, turmeric. Turmeric. Yes, so correct. The chicken flavor for you. Maggie chicken flavor with onion, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
Loretta King, and this is Smooth 98.1, where your soul, jazz, funk, world music, and real R&B. Keep it tuned on Smooth 98.1. Who says real music is dead? Not me.
Love music, love life. Just in case you ever get curious about what it is that I do before coming on, especially when the music bed comes on, I dance. Yes. If you're on YouTube, you will know that. Allow it to play a little bit and I dance in between. Welcome. You are listening to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1, where we love music, we love life, and we love movies. So it's now 26 minutes past 11 o'clock, and Irabor has been struggling with this internet connection. We really hope that's able to come back to join us so that we can get into analyzing some of the things that we have before us and giving our, I would say, balanced takes. But then, as humans, we do have our own biases, and there is a possibility that we sometimes weigh more in the direction of something or the other. Rabzi, are you back with us? Hello, Irabor.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sorry. I don't know. My network, I had to switch. Sorry, I don't know what's happening today. I don't know. I guess
Right.
everybody's
I
going
know.
on break.
What?
I think everybody's looking to go on break.
All right, so I'll take some messages and then we get into talking about what we have right before us today. Isaac on WhatsApp says, I watched The Herd and it actually has a good storyline that reflects the realities of the moment. However, it lacked some essential details and the ending didn't feel very realistic or satisfying to me. Isaac, thank you for your message. Would you be kind enough to give us some of those essential details that you think it lacked? Yes, I know that you have mentioned the end, which is the realistic or satisfactory end, but tell us some of those things that you think it could have had. Author says, I don't usually do Nollywood, but To Kill a Monkey and the Herd has changed how I see Nollywood movies. But there were some mistakes though, but we can forgive those kind of details, like a detective picking up bullets without gloves, the police officer coming from behind on the rock to shoot one of the herdsmen. How was the call traced? They were supposed to show the screen of the laptop to show a kind of software used. Make I stop there. And they were not supposed to, I mean, it was not, they don't have to show the screen, but I get your point where you said how it was traced. So yes, indeed, I did. Okay, full disclosure, I'm not fully done with it, but I'm 3/4 into it. And I was telling Irabor before we came on air that I loved the storyline. In fact, it's one that, because it mirrors reality and it tells the story in a way that it makes it touch you. You are so immersed into it that you can even easily forget and forgive any other thing that you think is a slip up or you should have known better or you should have done better. So the storyline was beautiful. And I'd say that not just in terms of how it mirrors the whole terrorism, because I would rather not call it banditry, and kidnapping and how it's a menace now, but also some other elements that they wove in there. For instance, the part where they were not stereotypical to do the whole, I mean, how they wove in the pastor who was involved in the whole organ harvest and body parts part. That was another part, which also is still part of the reality. And I think another part that I was not expecting, which was also good, and again, mirrors reality, is, although it might not be as much as we have it in these days, the part where they wove in the tradition, why, how you would rather be concerned about outcast or no outcast than saving the life of your son, and how, you know, tightly they were holding on to the tradition. We still have some people who still do that. So I like the different elements that they were able to weave in there. So the story was generally good. In fact, one of the best that we've had from Nollywood this year. And echoing some of the things that Arthur and Isaac said, yes, there were some things. The first thing was where they had the entire cows on the road. Survival instincts tells me that I'm not going to stay still in the car. Now, I know that there might be cars or there might be other cars behind, but I know that normal survival instinct is to tell you that you immediately try to start reversing. It doesn't look like anybody made the attempt to even reverse, unless I missed out some things. And yes, the part where the, what's it called? The detective was picking up bullets. If you know that you're a detective, I think when you're going to a crime scene, first thing you want to do is wear a glove, so that if you need to do some sort of tracing and some sort of tying the details together, you don't want to compromise evidence. That is a crime scene and you want to protect it as much as you can, and so on. So again, there were a number of things. For instance, when the sheikh was what's it called now? When he was stabbed from behind, I'm like, where did the knife come from? Where did the dagger, whatever that was used to stab him, come from? I mean, some details there, but again, I appreciate the entire thing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's a 7.5 for me. Irabor, are you happy now?
I'm not happy because, first of all, you're not done watching it. So your 7.5 can go to an 8.5. So let me just answer a few things. We say the movie, the storylines, and the plots mirror what is going on. So you're immersed when watching it. So if we're going to go with it mirroring life, our Nigerian police force Is it of international standard? Is it plausible that people take hand gloves to crime scenes? Is this something of a practice that you think will be consistent? So that can be argued. They're actually really depicting, the MPF in its true light. Should wearing gloves be the thing? Of course it should be. But the scene or the story, is it mirroring what it actually is in the country? So that's debatable. So that's why those things, I won't include them in my review as a nay. So this film, going by what I've seen, the production quality, everything, it being his his directorial debut, just looking at all the trappings of this film, you cannot but applaud how they held the pacing together, how they held the stories together, how they consolidated, how they cast the film, how the performances were. So many things about this film are good. It's just like with relationships. If you're going to get married or you want to be in a relationship, you cannot expect a perfect partner. So your pros have to always surpass your cons. So in this case, I think it's about 90% pros, 10% con, or 80% pros, 20% con. So I would excuse all that, but the story is powerful, the scripting is good, the acting, like this film is phenomenal. It's a top 10 movie Nollywood all time. In fact, it's in my top 20 movies of all time ever. Like it's in my top 20 ever. The Herd is among that. Yes. It is that good of a film. Maybe you guys need to take another time and watch it carefully. Carefully. Maybe remove the Nollywood bias, remove all these things. Watch it carefully, like really watch it and try to immerse yourself in it and understand it. This whole thing I'm saying is because we as an industry, we don't have too many things to hold on to. We're on here most of the time saying these things are bad, and you guys come for us and be like, this is it. But when we see a good thing and we're hailing it, I want you guys to really see it, see what we're trying to say. I don't like when people say, I'm not into Nollywood. Please don't get me wrong. There are crazy, outlandish movies in Nollywood. The same thing for Hollywood. See, if I give you some Hollywood movies that have even gotten to cinema, you'll be worried. Even the Leonardo DiCaprio film is not all that. The only reason the
Which of
film did
them?
well, the one with Tiana Taylor, the latest one. That
No, I'm yet to say that.
I can't remember the title. It's the thing N1bn, honestly, anticlimactic to the core. Like you're just wondering like, okay, so what are we doing with this film? Where is it going? What's the point? Where is the aim?
Oh
What's
yeah,
the
one battle after the other.
one battle after the other? It was one bad sequence after another. You're just,
Smart.
just trying to understand, So it's like you have great actors, they can act, but you put them in a box where there's no activity, it's just not going to comfort. That's why I give the Herd. Do you know what it means to touch on topical issues in the country and not make it seem too outlandish? But you're passing your point. You touch Hausa, you touch Yoruba, you touch Fulani, you touch, kidnapping, you touch Igbo lifestyle, you touch different things. If the thing wasn't called the Herd, it should be called Wazobia or something, Wazobia Plus or something. Yeah,
No, please. That will reduce it.
I know. I'm just saying, like that film.
I
See, that
get
film
you.
is a piece of art, man. It is a good film. This doesn't mean that the next film he brings, if it's now a stupid film, I won't say it's stupid. Of course I will. Of course I will. I'll be like, man, I don't know what you did here. Sorry, but you mess up. So, but watch it again. Watch it again.
Okay. And this was why I had to quickly take some other things because I know that this was going to take a bit of time. On WhatsApp, Senfaja says, yes, I noticed the detective was not on gloves too, but the real message was passed and he touched on all parts of the Nigerian sector. And I think, yes, from all the messages, including mine comments as well, that is the main thing that we're holding on to. The story and all the elements of it is powerful. And so every other thing, every other little dots not connecting, very forgivable. And we just hope that this will be the, how do they say it again, first of many to come, that we're able to have more people being challenged in terms of intellectual storytelling and also bringing us up onto the standard that could be. Okay, so let's talk about our own industry, that we're still trying to save in different ways. And this time, let's start with the work against piracy. And one of the reasons why this becomes really imperative, Irabor, I don't know if you're aware of the news that made round how some parts of N1bn Thieves was uploaded to a particular account on TikTok. Are you aware?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
And so when some of the stakeholders in Nollywood decided to have a walk, which creative industry, multi-choice Nigeria, they led the walk against piracy, it also spelled out the need. But again, we've talked about this a zillion times, Irabor, as touching piracy. What do you think can be done? I mean, or let's just leave it.
Oh, so I mean, I'll always be very realistic. It can be curbed, but just like with corruption and certain other things that you're just like, man, the powers that be may just be too exceedingly powerful that you cannot really totally get it out. It's like a cancer. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you can't. So, but you can get it to a point where it's reduced, just like with some diseases or ailments that you can live with till your death. So now the reason I'm giving all these analogies is to say that when a movie hits certain streaming services or even online, it gets pirated immediately. I don't know how people do it. Like, there are some sites that I monitor for piracy that I've reported that I saw the herd immediately on it. I flagged it. I
No
sent it. Do
way.
you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So I saw Osamede as well. Like, there's some sites I saw like, CEO, look at what's going on here. So you guys check it out. So them doing this thing and putting it out there, and it was a Nigerian that was pirating it, and they did an investigation, because when I put some phone calls through, I spoke to some of their people in their distribution office and everything, their comms people. It was a very elaborate thing that they really took out time to follow through, to kind of set an example, to show people that you can't be doing this. It's against the law and all that. So I think that's what needs to even be done for corruption and all those other things. So yes, is it a problem? It is a problem for sure. Are we as a people used to just getting things for free, watching things for free? Of course we are. That's why we're trying to make it that we have community cinemas and things are there available for people to be able to just enjoy and sell it as an experience. You're going to have these problems, no doubt. I mean, you're really going to have these problems. Everything is going to be the way it is. But I'm happy that Film One, with the Nigerian Police Force and all these guys, came together to just make sure that this was an example that they could put out there for people to hopefully deter them, because it's really a problem. But moving on from that, I think we have a broader, problem in Nollywood in terms of structure, in terms of channeling, in terms of distribution, in terms of production and all those other things. But yeah, piracy is one of them. But it's a win, in my own opinion, in terms of at least having a reference point to a piracy issue being solved, or a piracy issue being completed, in terms of you caught the people behind it. Yeah.
All right, I'll take the message from Bobby and then I'll tell you one of the things I did. Out of curiosity, I went to ChatGPT and I said, how do you think Nigerian movie industry can deal with piracy? I'll tell you what he told me after taking this message from Bobby, all the way from Kano. Bobby says, it makes me happy and proud to see that I played a very tiny part in the success of the herd. One of my pals reached out to me for translation of some Hausa words, about 3 words in part of the dialogue. At the time, I didn't even know what it was going to be for. But after I learned about it, I felt so happy and proud of my guy. Well, Bobby, thank you for being a part of it. All right, so let me go back to what ChatGPT told me. And Irabor, you will tell me if you think it can work or not. 1, it says stronger enforcement and modern laws. You have to update copyright laws to cover digital piracy more clearly, create faster legal processes so offenders are punished quickly, support agencies like the NCC to conduct regular raids and shut down illegal distribution networks. Before we go on, do you think that works? Where's this guy going to? Irabor. He's going to warm his soup.
I am here. I was saying, yes, it's part of what we just said just now. Making sure that these laws are carried out, they are punishable. There's examples are being set. So for sure, that is very, very important.
Then 2, it says use technology as a shield. 1, watermarking and digital fingerprinting so producers can track illegal copies. 2, geo-blocking and secure streaming platforms to control distribution. And 3, encourage using licensed platforms like the big ones and local services. Any objection to that? Okay, I'll just go on. Then it also mentioned affordable and accessible legal options. So in other words, people often pirate because legal options are too expensive, hard to access, or released too late. So solutions, affordable pricing for online rentals. Oh, I remember the day of renting movies. Irabor, did you rent movies then? Oh, the network is seriously ringing on the party today. I'll just go on. And if you'd like to join this conversation, please be my guest. Affordable pricing for online rentals. Release movies simultaneously online and in cinemas. To reduce the piracy window. I don't know if this would be something good for the ones making the movies. And also build strong Nigerian-owned streaming platform, focus on convenience and quality. About this one, we're supposed to talk about it a little. Hopefully, Irabor gets back. I know that earlier this year, we did talk about some of the indigenous streaming platforms that are being put out there. There is Kava, there is Ebony Life On. And I know that maybe 2 months ago, we were asking about how Ebony Life On did. Oh, Irabor, you're back.
Yes, I am.
I feel like if I had a penny or, sorry, $1 for each time I call Irabor, are you there? I'd be rich now. So, before you went on, you mentioned a number of things, which I'm going to link to something before you came on. So it said one of the solutions is to build strong Nigeria-owned streaming platforms focused on convenience and quality, and also to release movies simultaneously online and in cinemas in order to reduce the piracy window. Do you think that can work? I mean, it's not going to do so much for the pockets of, you take your movie to the cinema, you want the kind of money before you bring it to the streaming platform.
Yes, it can work. It's what people certainly do. Like you can release a film in cinema, then simultaneously release it on streaming. There'll still be that population of people that would still rely on certain sites. So they won't even bother if it's released in cinema or streaming. They just go to that site straight away. So now the thing is identifying those sites and just creating programs. AI can even be of help here, where you kind of spot these sites who automatically will just want to upload these movies, online. So yes, for sure. Or we resort to cassettes again, and let's be distributing via cassette, or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's something that cannot be, in my own opinion, cannot be stopped, but can be curbed to a point. So those measures need to be put in place. Then if the economy is boosted enough, because it's an economical problem, like where people can't just shell out, a few thousands to go and watch or subscribe to something. So right now, people's priorities are beyond just that other, entertainment aspect of streaming or going to the cinema. Because if you're going to go to the cinema, you're looking at 7,585 per cinema ticket. Sure, go chop. So imagine if you carry babe. So you're looking at like 85 times 2 plus popcorn, which is 5K. They'll spend 25K Uber, to and fro, another 25K, 50K, plus the drink. So you're looking at just hold
to the cinemas.
Just hold like 30K. Yeah, it's the math. I've done the math for you already. Go to the cinema, just hold like 30K. That day I was going to take you guys to go and see the cinema. The only ticket I go give you now. That's all.
Okay, it definitely shows that I've not been going to the cinemas. That is wow. Okay.
Sure that you've not been going on date.
You said?
Nothing.
I heard you. I just wanted you to repeat it with your full chest.
It shows that you've not been going on dates too. I can repeat it. I just didn't want to repeat it.
It's obvious. All right, we'll go on. And this time, let's talk about some of the things happening in the industry. You brought it to my attention, what Taye Arimoro did in terms of the suspension by the Nollywood Guild. And I found it it's ludicrous, the word, or laughable. I didn't even know up until then that he was not even a member of the guild. So how does an organization that is not a part of sanction him? But Irabor, I'd like you to share your thoughts on this. Is he gone again? Irabor?
It's very, very funny now. So, when we keep saying this, myself and Oris, that we don't have structure, we don't have structure. It's not that it's a punchline or we're just, trying to regurgitate something as a, you know, um, pun or something. My point is, if a guild is trying to suspend somebody who is not even part of the guild, obviously the law does not take effect there. I mean, except any lawyer in the house can correct me on that one. So now there is a deeper problem of the guild not even doing its homework, knowing how many people are registered. They are not even doing exercises or drives across movie sets or across any platforms to make sure that people are registered to be in the guild. So they have a problem. So I feel that this problem, well, again, even as we now see that they don't know what they're doing in this regard, it's still not going to change anything because nobody's calling anybody to order. No ministry, no parastatal that is in charge of all these other people like AGN and the DGN and all these ends. Nobody is going to do anything. So the first thing is, if you're even going to reprimand somebody, the person has to be within your confines. It's not like a diplomatic situation where even if you do anything in another country, as long as you have diplomatic immunity, nothing happens to you. Do you understand? So we don't have these elements in place. And what will it take to even register everybody? It won't take anything to register everybody. But again, I just don't understand. Then they now got the name wrong. So it goes to show that they didn't even do their homework to even understand who the person is, and the person is not even registered. They don't have certain registered people. So it shows that the people even said that are trying to reprimand somebody, they too even need reprimand, because how can you not even get the name correctly? How? Then you put out an official pressure. So when you were deliberating and everything, you do.
The culture of anyhowness in Nigeria just keeps getting deeper and deeper every day.
If you call out their anyhowness, they would have an issue with you calling out their anyhowness. I can correct you, but you can't correct me.
Sorry. I drink water. Well, we'll be here to see what ends this because it just makes no sense. Anyways, he's countersued with 1 billion naira. And he issued a stern warning to 3 of the most powerful bodies: the Actors Guild of Nigeria, the Directors Guild of Nigeria, and the Association of Movie Producers. And he's demanding a public apology and a full retraction of his indefinite suspension within 24 hours, or he will proceed with a 1 billion naira lawsuit for defamation and damages. So, and again, this thing speaks to other issue, like what happened? Why were they so hasty? And why does it look like they are bent on protecting Peggy? I mean, let's just move on.
Let's move on. No matter what you say, no matter how you want to look at it, like, it's just very sad. If you're going to, I don't get it, Jerry.
See, unfortunately, even though we're going to move on, we're moving to another thing in Nollywood.
Okay, no worries.
At this time, it's actress Teniola Aladishe speaking out about the secrecy surrounding Nollywood pay and the significant disparity in earnings. So this was something that was said in a recent interview, and I got this particular one from the Nation newspaper, where she noted that many actors accept low fees because they believe the budget is fixed, and when in reality, some films allocate more funds for certain roles. Is that not normal?
So now the thing is, Omoni came here, I think earlier in the year, or last year, I can't remember.
Yes, no,
when we were asking her questions about numbers, and she didn't want to share. Even the Red app, they don't share their actual numbers. Nobody shares numbers really. We don't know why. Now, would people want to play smart, cheat you off of your talent or your IP? Of course. I mean, that's human nature. Now, you don't get levels reach where you can command or change people's opinions about whatever it is they want to offer you. So it depends. There's a hierarchy. There are levels to it. The person she mentioned, Timini can, decline a job because he's Timini. He has even done his own film. He can, do you like to Bimbo Ademoye? All those people, they are there. Teniola never reached that level yet. So she too has to pass through that stage. It's not a case of, oh, men get paid more than women or women. No. It's a talent thing. We're not talking about modeling in America now where women get paid more, or sports in America where men get paid more because they do more. So it's the industry. The structure is not there. There's no per diem fixed rate where a day player would be expected to be paid a fixed amount. There is no cap to the salary or whatever that can be earned based off of the percentage. There's no structure. There's nothing. So it's just, oh, okay, I have a budget in my mind. I will share one you. I give you money or I give you role. You do the role. I collect, there's none like that. Even Hollywood self, they are structured to a point, but even themselves have some issues when they start talking about their own pay disparities with, the female actors and the male actors and the rest. So, but in Nigeria, our own is that we just don't have the structure. America is surviving on what the structures that their forefathers put in place. If they didn't put it in place, they too will be in shambles. Look at them now. They don't even know what they're doing most of the time.
I agree with you. Right now, they don't know what they are doing at all. But just to quickly point out that it was not specific to gender. She was just talking generally about how there's the issue of the secrecy, and secondly is how sometimes these people are taken for granted. Because I'll quote some of the things that she said. She said, I remember a conversation with Timini on the set of Love in a Pandemic. He might not even recall it, but he was talking about a project he'd been approached for and mentioned the amount offered. At that time, he wasn't happy with it. He said something like, "You're calling me to spend weeks on set for what I could make in 2 or 3 days elsewhere." So again, it goes back to what it is that you said about structure. And because there is no structure, there is no protection as well, because it means that somebody can be offered 100,000 naira for something that is supposed to be, you're supposed to be paid 700,000 or 1 million for, but because they know that there is no structure that is going to make them pay or, deal with that. So no structure, no consequences.
Let me ask you a question. So I know somebody who featured in Wedding Party, played a role, had a speaking role. Now, this is no dog at anybody. No. I'm trying to give you perspective. So, so how much do you think, based on that time and the movie, how much do you think the least person who at least had a speaking role should earn, even if it was 4 lines? How much do you think that person should earn?
Comrade, this is a question I might not be able to answer. Not because I'm trying to be diplomatic, but because of... Can you hear me?
No,
can you?
No, just give me what comes to mind. Like just anything that comes to mind. Like I've just given you the context.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Nothing comes to mind. I promise it's not me being diplomatic or trying to run away from the difficult conversations. Literally, nothing comes to mind. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because of the secrecy, for the secrecy that we've talked about for so long. Now, I'll give you an instance. I'm a voice actor. And because I'm a voice actor, for long in the voice acting industry right here in Nigeria, we have struggled with the pay in terms of something that should be standardized. It was just this year or maybe last year that we had the Association of Voiceover Actor coming out with a standard rates card. So before then, someone who had no idea what was going on in the industry thought that 80,000 was so good pay. And then someone who's seen it and who has an idea of what works, because when we're talking about this, we're talking about how your voice, what kind of thing is it? Is it TV? Is it radio? Is it something that will be renewed constantly? Or is it a one-time use? Is it for social media and so on? So because of that, charging is not just a simple flat rate and so on. So I hope you understand with these few points of mine.
I'm still going to ask you this question. I'll give you another context. You cannot dodge.
Hey.
So, when you go to the market.
After my life.
When you go to the market or you see a car, you just like, I think this car will be what? Or I think this is, okay, let me give you something more current. Let me not use Wedding Party. Okay. The Herd, for example, how much do you think someone like Linda Ayoma Ejiofor deserves? Not how much do you think she may have earned. How much do you think she deserves based on that performance? How much do you think anybody deserves that should, like, if you're like, I think this person should have been paid between this to this for this performance?
A few millions. Like, let's say, you said?
A few millions, how much? Give me number.
Like, let's say 2 million to 5 million.
2 million to 5 million, somewhere like Linda Hioma. Okay, so now that person that I just gave you the example of in Wedding Party had a scene, one scene, and just maybe a few words.
Okay.
How much do you think such a person or those kinds of people should be earning in a movie production?
Some hundred, few words. Wait, hold on. Who's this person? Is it a very popular person? Because you kind of
I'm
ruled that
not
out as well.
telling you the person is. I'm just
No, I'm
telling
not.
you.
No. I'm saying, was this person? I don't need you to tell me the name. Was this person a popular person?
Let's use
Because
just a
that
normal
contributes.
person, just a normal person, unpopular person, just person
And
sharp.
some lines, right?
Uh,
Okay, some hundreds of thousands.
okay, some hundreds of thousands. Okay, all
Hmm,
right. Adesuwa was paid 800K for Wedding Party. That's to give you perspective.
I see. Okay. We need to have a full episode dedicated to this. Maybe we even need to have it as a podcast so that some of the things that would try to be diplomatic on air about, there will be no holds barred and we'll just go full guns blazing in. Because this is serious. All right. I'll take some messages with this one is coming from WhatsApp. I know somebody Biwa says, before now, the Yoruba film industry had a very strong structure during the ANTP days. You can't shoot a movie without being a member of ANTP. And now the industry has scattered. No structure again. Everybody do whatever they want. The lady has no points. It's about the actor's market value. RMD can do a scene and collect more than another actor that acted 10 scenes. Yeah, that was part of what I just said. There is that as well.
See what Tom Cruise and RDJ collect now. Those people, they first collect back end. Some of them won't even collect salary. They just collect back end because they know that that movie will make 500 million, 1 billion. They'll just collect back end and sit up.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And I think at the end of the day, it's life that you just have to build from the ground up. No
yeah,
matter
so
how. Yeah, you just
simple.
have to. You
Ah,
said?
I say yes, so very simple. Me when I started, I used to beg to be in certain places. Beg, let me just enter because I knew that I had what it took, but nobody knew me. But now, not be every premiere they go. It's not by force.
Eh, starting
No,
from the bottom, now we're here. Look at you, 50 shoulder
God.
pads.
You are not
Irabor, calm
understanding
down.
what you're
Calm
not.
down.
You're not understand. Okay, let me just keep quiet.
Oh, it's your turn, Abby. Thank you, Rebel, for being there as always. We're done for today, but next week we'll be back again.
All
So,
right.
are you still active on socials?
At Irabor Okosun 100. That's how I keep it. I'm there.
All right, now, any recommendation for the weekend?
Watch The Chosen. It's on Amazon Prime. It's one of the greatest TV series ever made. It's about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
It looks like heaven is the goal for Rebel.
It is the goal, the only goal, man.
Thank you. Next week we'll be back again from 11 right here on Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun Olusegun.